Welcome to Mudding with BEAGS. This is episode 30, and today we're gonna see what Frank Zappa has to say. And I am the slime oozing out from your TV set. You will obey me while I lead you, and eat the garbage while I feed you. Frank knew. And this is just something, a thought I had, wanted to share. Keep calm and eat the elephant. And what that means is that when you have a problem that's so big you can't figure out where to even begin with it, that you keep calm and you eat the elephant one bite at a time. You take the problem and you solve it. Just start working on the problem. Don't worry about the big picture. Don't worry about figuring it all out at one time. Just start. And as you move forward, you will figure it out, you will work it out, and you'll take the problem one bit at a time. My background is in audio, video, and lighting, staging productions, and as you see in this picture, this is a standard cable for audio or video or lighting. Cables were everywhere, and we had to know what every one of those cables was and what it went to and how to fix it and how to find it and how to replace it and how to figure out what was broke with it, which cable was messed up. We had to know how to put it together, hook it up and unhook it and pack it, roll it. We had to know everything about this, okay? And this was a daily thing for us. We had cables everywhere, and when I first started doing this, it was pure insanity. I thought these people were nuts, because you look at that rat's nest there and there's no way you could figure that out. But I learned what one cable was, and then I learned what another cable was, and they would hand me a cable and they'd say hook this to that and that to this, run it here to there and there to here, and I would figure it out one cable at a time. And so that rat's nest became my life for a while. And I look at it today and it's just no big deal. I know how to go in there and rip all that out, and I know how to put it back together. It's just like the back of your hand. It's like riding a bike, and so my advice is eat the elephant one bite at a time. So when you're looking into Mudflood and it seems overwhelming, you can't figure out how in the hell you're ever going to figure it out or understand it, just take one little bite, learn one little thing, eat that elephant one bite at a time, and you'll figure it out. It'll come to you. And Paul Cook is Mudflood Boots on the Ground with 20,000 subscribers and a DeWalt cordless hammer drill. And I'm just letting you know, elitists, globalists, and Freemasons, since how you got to let us know all the stuff you're going to do to us, I'm going to let you know old Paul Cook is going to get about a Mudflood and uncover all this hanky-panky y'all been up to. I'm just telling you right now, y'all best be warned, because he's coming for you. Paul Cook's on the job. He got a ruler, a tape measure, he got a level, he got a drill. Y'all in trouble. Big salute you, Paul Cook. 20,000 subscribers. So anyways, let's get to it. Beagle, roll them credits. Atlantic City, New Jersey, 1910, Boardwalk. Got the Hotel Marlborough and the Blenheim and Young's $1 Million Pier. I'm not pronouncing that right. Anywho, the pictures are going to be in the description, and that is a big old panoramic. And we got people on the beach hanging out in full clothing. She got the right idea. Full clothing. Definitely got to have on full apparatus to go out to the beach because we don't want to get a lick of sun on us. I mean, you gonna put Filipino band. Man, why you gonna build something like this on a pier? I mean, don't y'all know about hurricanes? Y'all ain't figured that out yet? This could be part of the air conditioning system called a wind catcher. Look into wind catchers. Look at these right here. That's interesting. Let's put a building on top of a bridge. That's interesting. Got a cupola. Could be part of air conditioning. Ether antenna. And a house on a pier. I guess that stuff's not that weird. That's the columns on there. That's a little weird. That is definitely freaking weird. And that, you know, it's these things that are strange. And this is just too much. This is way overkill for a pier. That's very much overkill. Anywho, let's go down. It's part of the Marlborough Phoenician Shells Postcard Emporium. The Detroit publishing company that took a lot of these photographs. They also had a stake in diamond symbology there. They had a stake in oh, there's a greenhouse that possibly goes underground. That's interesting. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. That's weird. It's flat Earth. The asterisk, flat plane of the flat Earth, the north and south, and the X representing the Taurus is what I believe is the symbol for the flat Earth. We got mudflood windows here. Here, the sky's covering up mudflood windows. Got them all across the side here. Mudflood windows here and here. Diamond symbology. You know, this building looks to be built of wood. Yes, we built with wood. And yes, guess what? The old world also built with wood. They built with steel. They had steel. They had wood. But mostly they used brick. And I got a feeling a lot of, you'll see a lot of times there's mudflood windows, in case you need to see those or want to know what those are. That could be part of the wind catching system there. Ether antenna. Check out the bag of laurel lethal control. There's those weird balls. I see these a lot. I don't know what they are. Portholes. The wind catching systems are very important. I'd look into wind catchers as a building technology. They're still used today. That technology is it's actually something we could use now for free energy. So we should look into wind catchers. Check that out. But yeah, they a lot of these buildings on coastal areas, I've noticed ether antennas. Check out that smokestack that was probably not a smokestack. Here's another one. I don't think smokestacks were smokestacks. I think they were something else, possibly water towers. Some people think they might have been water towers. This is probably a wind catcher, ether antenna wind catcher system here. And I'm starting to wonder if these right here are the exits for the air, because the air would come down through the building and they would move it around, and they would use these portals to vent, things like that. But then the air would move around and the hot air would be pushed up and out, and they had a wind catcher system has an input and an output, and that could be an output for the wind catcher. Mudflood windows down there, so this sucker's sitting in the ground, underneath ground. Very interesting. Good to know. Let's see if I missed anything. There's Fred. Fred's on the job. Yep, there's Fred's cousins. And if you don't know, if you're new here, Fred is the horse that built America. In case you need to know that. Bull Durham, that's a North Carolina thing right there. That's my home state. That's a crazy gazebo up on top of that building there. Boy, they're just pushing the cigarettes back then. And boom! Somebody had way too much time on their hands. Let's see what we got here. And these pictures will be in the description, and you can go and look at these for yourself and do your own looking, especially doing your own thinking. See what you can find. See what you can find that I didn't find, because people always find good stuff. I can't see it all. I find what I can find, and others will find other things. And we'll have differences of opinion, and opinions are good. Everybody can have a different opinion. Let's see what our fellow over here is doing. I mean, somebody really had some time. They spent colorizing this thing. Seriously. Let's see here. Mudflood windows. Where are they at? Oh, right here, right there. Marlboro Hotel. Look at that thing. That kind of reminds me of the wing disc right there. You got those portholes open. Okay, anywho, in Buffalo, New York, 1908, Sheldon Square, St. Paul Episcopal Cathedral, Prudential Building, Erie County Savings Bank. And I believe this is the Savings Bank, and this is the cathedral. I guess this is the Prudential Building, maybe. Anywho, yeah, that is a long ass trolley. Wow, that might be the longest trolley I've ever seen. And could that be? I wonder if that's electric. I don't know. Look at that ivy growing up there. Rose window, arc light, another rose window. This is part of the wind catching system here. Bring that wind in there and bring it down through the building and cool it. They removed something right there. Probably a clock of some sort. This is probably the exit for the wind catching system. Comes down and goes back out. And I see these a lot. I guess there's some sort of wind gauging bit. Ether antennas, portholes on the top of the building here, arched windows. This is probably an iron facade building. Very cool. I think that's definitely old world stuff. I don't think we added that. I think that was already there. Big old lights back there. I'd be interested to know if that thing right there is hollow underneath that concrete. Arched windows. These are touring cars. These are electric cars. They would give tours of cities. They did them in the major cities. Mudflood windows. Yep. And there's Fred. Fred's on the job. Fred changes colors, in case you didn't know. He's incognito. He's like a chameleon. And you got a barber pole here, and you got a guy right here. There's probably stairs right there going into the underground. For some strange freaking reason, they kept putting barber shops in the basements where there's very little light. And they had gas lighting back then. You know, when these things were installed. So why you would put there's a cupola
I wonder if that's full of mercury. I don't know. Ether antenna. You know, look at these ether antennas. Man, talk about fractal. Oh, man. Whoa, mama. Okay. Look at that thing. Those things are crazy looking. This is probably part of the wind catching system. That thing is sucking some freaking ether, man. I wonder what they would have run in that building. Look at those faces off the side there. Those are creepy. Super creepy. Pyramid symbology. We write the horseshit lettering on the windows. That's something we know how to do. Got to have bars on the windows because, you know, we got windows below ground. That's boss man. He's making sure the workers are doing something. Got ghost people here. If you move too fast back then, the camera would not catch you. Arc lights. Car stop here. Wow. I mean, just imagine. I mean, people roamed around here with no traffic signals. What a different world. Charleston, South Carolina, the orphan asylum on Calhoun Street, and there's a statue of William Pitt in the foreground. This is in 1865. And statue of William Pitt, and he's lost him an arm. This is right after the Civil War. We got some sort of symbol here. Interesting. Not sure what they're symbolizing there. Tartarian griffins right there with ether lights. Weird, creepy dude. Poor little orphan train kid. Got us a, looks like a soldier there, ghost soldier. And it's interesting on this building, there's many broken windows. Sorry, I got sidetracked looking at something. Taurus, that represents the Taurus, and got a keystone. Look at the windows. You know, there's very little damage to the building. This is like, there's a little bit of damage here. This is a brick building, by the way. Everything's brick back then, okay? Everything's brick. They just facaded over it. You can see it here also. Let's see. See? That's facade. See, this facade's cracked off. A lot of, there's Mudflood windows. There's Fred. Fred's back there in the background getting the Fred done. He's the horse that built America, in case you didn't know, weren't informed. Now you are. The more you know. Look at all these broken windows. But now this is just that's a bad mark on the glass negative. And this is here. Check out this cupola and check out this figure up here. Very interesting. This is part of the wind catcher system, I do believe. But it's interesting. There's, you know, all these busted out windows, but, you know, there weren't cannonballs and musket balls flying around. That was all a psyop. Civil War was a psyop. Chicago Club. This is in Chicago. This was published between 1900 and 1906. And we got Mudflood windows. Ghost Fred's on the job. He's moving so fast you can hardly see him. Got Mrs. Fred back here. Wilbur here. Yeah. Got star symbology. Now that's all you need for a post office right there. You don't need those big ass buildings we're seeing a lot of. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Smoked out there. Look at that arc light. Good gracious. I bet that thing would be so valuable now. I bet that arch window. Woohoo. Okay, this building's very Moorish. Look at these balls here. Those weird balls. Interesting. Get you day and night school. That's a lot of closure to that window right there. I wonder why they have so much. Chicago Kindergarten College. What in the shit is that? I never heard that. I don't know. Got me on that one. We would have added this ladder business here. See, going up the front, this fire ladder here, and that ether antenna is interesting. I bet you we removed that and brought it down. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Pyramid. Let's see. Fire hydrants, I believe, are old world. There's ventilation into the underground right there, the bottom of that. Ooh, look at the intricacy there. Laurel leaf for control. I think it's interesting how the U's were V's on a lot of these buildings. I believe we added that flagpole, probably off the top of the building. Something looks like it was taken off of there too. It's pretty. Man. Some kind of dudes here. I don't know who they are. Not going to speculate. I don't know what's creepier, that this fella has no arms, or what would it look like if he did have arms and a head, I should say. It's kind of strange. Got dudes all over the front of the building here. The building is very Moorish looking. The Moors were in America. They're not the only group that was in America, but the Moors were in America, no doubt. They were part of the fabric of the civilization of the old world. Look at that. I mean, does that make any sense? It just doesn't make any sense. Circa 1900, Baltimore City Hall. Because we need this big ass building to do any kind of city halling for some reason. These would be great over the windows here. There's windows below ground there. They're trying to let light in. They got rid of the grates pretty quick because, and they replaced them with pavement light because there's Fred's on the job. Looks like he might be delivering some white lightning. And there's those glass electrical thingies. But anyways, the grates were a problem because the ladies would their heels would fall through them, and they get hurt, and people would lose things down them and things like that. Look at the arches on that. I mean, that's just insanity. Seriously, who builds like this? Portals. Ether fencing up here. Portals over here. There's probably a wind catching system there. These portals are part of the wind catching system. Scrubbed cartouches. Ether fencing. Clocks. There's probably 4 in this building with portholes. That's probably a wind catching system. Look at that ether antenna. And I believe we added that flagpole right there. Pyramid symbology. Ether fencing. More portholes all over. So that's allowing the ventilation of the air system. Ether lights. Got some over here too. Got Mudflood windows down here. If you look back, you look over here, see the same thing. And these are in the ground. Does that make sense? Mr. Contractor, did you forget to bring your level to work today? Huh? Did you forget to grade your job? Huh, Mr. Contractor? Well, we did that on purpose for aesthetic reasons, to work with the lay of the land. Yeah. Frank Lloyd Wright. Yeah, that's it. Frank Lloyd Wright. Circa 1903, Bridge of Sighs, Pittsburgh. Boss man's on the job, right next to Mudflood. A black man, that's a rarity. They never want to show those. Poor fellas. It's like they couldn't take a picture of the black people. I mean, damn, there's so few pictures of, especially in the big cities. I mean, it's like they just did not want to take pictures of them. I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's a whole culture we've lost where we're not getting the data. There's a whole bunch of damn white people. I don't know. Arched windows. This is, I bet you get under this lady's skirt right here, you'd find brick under that stone. Just saying. Arched windows. I mean, who's making these arched windows? Like the glass. Who's cutting that? There's Fred. Fred's on the job. There's Wilbur coming up behind him. Mrs. Fred back there in the background. That's a crazy looking arch right there. That thing looks almost round. That is so weird. I like how some of the stones are sticking out here. That's super cool. Arches. Well, they love their arches. Old world loved arches. Of course, I think they had billions and billions of people. I've heard estimates up around 32 billion people on Earth at the time of the old world. That's a lot of people. You can do a lot of work. These guys are in charge of covering up mud flood evidence right here. Look how the hill goes down. The buildings are still in the ground. You got horse poo for y'all looking for the horse poo. They didn't get to this street yet to clean it up. Some people look for horse poo on streets and get upset when it ain't there. Circa 1904, State Street, Rochester, New York. And let's see what we got here. We probably added these stairs. Got mud flood access right here. Down in the ground, that's pavement light right there. All that's pavement light. Pavement light. Pavement light. Clocks are expensive. Prism glass right here up in the transom. There's Wilbur. Wilbur's on the... excuse me, that's Fred. I'm sorry, that's Fred. I'm going too fast. There's Wilbur. Okay, Mrs. Fred's back here. No, Mrs. Fred's right here. She's over here. She's messing around with this fella. I don't know who that is. We're not going to talk about him. We won't tell Fred. Fred's got a couple girlfriends himself, but we won't tell nobody. Let's see. Phoenix. Yep, they love their phoenixes. I mean, this thing is brick building, but they covered it well. Ether fencing all across the front there, up on the top also. Good grief, 3 rows of ether fencing. Look at the facade on that thing. That's insanity. Good gracious. Unbelievable. Wow. China glass, that's interesting. See, brick. It doesn't look brick. It doesn't look like a brick building, but then you get to the side of it. There it is, brick. That's probably part of a wind catching system right there. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Give me something good. Let me see. Got pavement light right here. There's a trap door right there. Coal hole covers right there and there. There's a creepy looking dude right there, man. Oh, man. Arc light. Interesting symbology in that building. What will be the point of putting all that in there? Diamond symbology. This is all facade. You get under here, you're going to find brick. Brick, brick, brick. Got dragons here and here and here and here. There's another dragon. I bet you that's a Chinese restaurant. Hard to tell though. I don't know. Those are the bullseyes. Pavement light. They were round and they were really crappy. They were in a metal frame and they easily popped out. They had a lot of problems with them. Ladies' heels would pop through them and they'd break their heels or twist their ankles. So they quickly got rid of most of them. Although they're really cool. They were also really slick. Then they added nubs to them, which made it a little better, but they were not a very good invention. And anyways, then they went into the concrete. This is 1904 Troy Line Piers, RMS Baltic at White Star Line Piers. This is the White Star Line Piers over on the right, New York City. At time, the Baltic was the world's largest ship, and that is the Baltic. So this is a White Star Line, which is the same line that built, quote unquote, and probably didn't build the Titanic and the Olympic. They probably didn't build this thing either. I imagine these are old world. That's just my thinking. I don't know. Fred is in here somewhere. I don't know. Take your pick. I'm going to call that Fred. That's Fred right there. He looks very Freddy. Look at that thing. Boy, they're hauling something there. Ooh, look at that contraption. They're hauling long, big stuff with that thing. Dang. A lumber yard. Jacksonville, Florida. Wilmington, Tennessee. North Carolina represent. Phoenician shells. Ether antennas. Got some fractal going on. A lot of stuff going on in the background back there. Yeah, that's a heck of a ship or boat or whatever. Ferry? I don't know what that is. And what they got going on back there. Look at that big old sucker. That's a big old ship too. Look at these buildings, man. Wonder what those are. Good gracious. I mean, you can't see them too good, but they're huge. Big old arched windows back there. Man, it's a big ass picture. Ether antennas up there. Got a pulley. They would pull things up to the upper floors with the pulleys. Lager beer. Okay. Man, what a world. Just incredible how they moved everything around. Bring the train right into. That's cool. That is a weird facade. A ladder going up there. Ether antenna. Check out that contraption. It's like an unloading crane pulled around by the horses. There's another one. I mean, that's the technology that they're using. Yet they say they can build these big ass buildings. I mean, it's unrealistic. Troy line. That one's got freight cars. God, what a time. 1905 Court and Chinago Streets, Binghamton, New York. The Kilmer Building, center stage. And we got an obelisk. And we would have added these. This obelisk is Old World's ether antenna, and it's buried into the mud. And these cannons, mortars here, they would have been added. These were probably big. They probably had 4 lights on either corner, or 1 light on every corner. 4 lights total. And we would have added these horseshit statues. And Fort Fisher. There's the Old World symbology. That's probably Old World. But anyways, this thing probably came in. This is probably one piece, and this is probably one piece, and this is probably one piece, and this would be separate. But anyways, I did a video on misdirection of Confederate monuments, and so if you want to check that out, and it talks about a 75-foot tall obelisk that's in Raleigh, North Carolina, that they had to take down. They had to bring in 3 different cranes. Each one they brought in had to be bigger because they had trouble lifting it off the pedestal. Just this portion they couldn't lift. 75 foot tall. And they had to eventually had to drill in and put posts in there so they could put the straps on there so they could get enough grip to pull it up. And this thing's supposedly erected in like 1895. Kiss my ass. Go check that video out. I worked real hard on that, and I think it turned out pretty good. It's a little long. It's like an hour long or something, but you'll learn something. I mean, you know. And Mr. Contractor, I'd like to get you to just go ahead and get me architectural blueprints for this facade here, because I don't think you can build that. I'm just going to call you out. I don't think you got the grapes. Anywho, and that is a Moorish looking building right there. And wow, look how that thing's dripping. That looks scrubbed right there. Tartarian lions up there. Could be the laurel leaf of control. This is probably a wind catching system here. Those look scrubbed. Got portholes there. These buildings are brick. You get up under these buildings, look up under the stone skirt of these things, you're going to find brick. That looks like a drop down in the mud right there. That looks like it's going into the dirt right there. See that? That looks like it's going in dirt. Can't say for sure, but it does look like it's going into the dirt. And I forgot to say, there's Fred right there. Everybody likes to know where Fred is. And he's the horse that built America. And this is City Hall in 1906, Louisville, Kentucky. And Fred's on the job, moving slowly for some reason. He must have a fragile cargo. There's Boss Man. Got underground here, Mudflood windows, arc light, coal hole cover. What else we're going to find? That's kind of Moorish looking, this building. Got you a bell. This is probably a wind catching system. That building looks very Moorish. Moors were in America. Yes, they were. There was many civilizations in America. I don't know. Arched windows. Check out those heads right there. Boars and horses, maybe. Man, the cornice, man. Wow, that's just, whew. This is part of the wind catching system. Clocks are expensive. There's 4 on this building. At their fencing, at their antenna. Arched windows represent the Taurus there. Got a train on the front of the building up in a pyramid. We would have added this horse shit. City Hall AD 1871. Probably is us. There's Mrs. Fred right there. I don't know Mrs. Fred's name. There's an octagonal coal hole cover, and those usually had pavement light in the coal hole cover. There's Mudflood windows. We got a drop down there. Octagonal coal hole covers there. There's Wilbur hanging out. More Mudflood windows. There's another coal hole cover. Got Mr. Piggy there. In case you didn't know. Got more of those creatures on the side of the building there. Very odd. I think that there was a lot of this stuff. I think the cartouches had a lot of things like this. And I think they took them off. I think they were easy to take off. And then they just, I call it scrubbing, where they smooth them out and cover up whatever was there. So, moving on. And we got the Illinois Theater in Chicago in 1907. Fire hydrant, I believe our old world. Got a arched window underground level here. So that is Mudflood evidence right there. The Stratford Hotel buffet. Intricate little ironwork there. I believe this style of facading right here, I believe that is old world technology of some sort. Look how this building's peeling off. Whatever they had on here is coming off. Those are nice. I like that. Wow, this is a heck of a building. I wish I could see that building better. We added the fire escape and the piping there. Check out these faces. Phoenician shell. Crazy looking faces. That one's like a devil. And there is no devil. That's a fictional character made up by the church. I don't care what anyone says. I've done the research. Okay? It does not exist. It's a figment of someone's imagination. It was a control fear mechanism. And while you're at it, Satanists don't believe in Satan. Check into that. Tartarian lions, lower lethal control, portals. Oh, I know a lot about spirituality and religion. That's actually what I know the most about. Scrubbed cartouche there. Mudflood's actually my second language. Okay. Those are cool lights, man. Taurus fields. Look in the window, you can see the building across the street. A lot of intricate work. Man, that's pretty. Old world ether lights. The man of the hour. That looks like pavement light right there. All the way across the front is pavement light. It's hard to tell, but when you do the research on pavement light, you'll see it too. It'll become obvious to you what's pavement light, what's not. Kind of, you have to train your eye to see it. See, it's a brick building. Everything's brick. This is all facading. All facading. I wonder what happened there. That's interesting. Let's see. Alright. Okay, let's move on. Post office in Lowell, Massachusetts, 1908. Got lady in uniform. That, I don't know. I thought it might be a 3-rail system, but it's not. Okay, moving on. Got a ghost man right here. Another ghost people. Ladies in uniform. Mudflood Wander. Mudflood Wanders. Big ass arched doorway. Ugly ass awnings. Get you a new bike. Gas lamps. Mantles. Get you a shine. Arched windows. Arched windows are old world. There's no way these people in early 1900s, late 1800s would build arches. Not on purpose. I mean, it's just, it makes no sense. This makes sense, okay? But I bet you these are something that they changed. I don't know. Mudflood Winders down there. More Mudflood Winders. Automobile garage. Coal. That's an old building right there. Arc light. You know, this looks like a stone building, but I bet you nickel it's brick underneath. Get up under that lace skirt right there. See if that ain't brick. Clocks are expensive. This is probably part of the wind catching system here. Ether antenna up here. And probably had, this is probably part of the outlets. Although there is a piece right here which could be, there's always an input and always an output on the wind catchers. And it sucks it through. This is interesting how they did this side here. Okay, moving on. Cleveland, Ohio, 1900 Williamson Building, Lucid Avenue. Now, Lucid Avenue, for those of you not in the know, is the main drag for the rich and hoity-toity assholey folks of the time. It's where Rockefeller lived. and this is the downtown area, but you go further down the road out of town, and that's where the Rockefellers and all them, you know, like to home painless dentist. Painless dentist, yeah. Okay. I don't think back then it was painless, but that's, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. Those are prism glasses right there. Look at that big arch. My goodness, that thing is huge. That's about a shit, man. That's 25, 30 feet tall right there. These probably are vented into the underground. There's a fire hydrant. Fire hydrants are old world. This is, I know where this is exactly. This is the soldiers and sailors monument right here. There's Fred right there. He's delivering something, in case you didn't notice him. And anyways, this is on a public square. This is the big square in Cleveland. And I did a video on Cleveland as a Christmas episode, but it's just full of Mudflood building pictures. And it's Christmas themed. I was trying to do something for Christmas. Tartarian lions, scrubbed cartouches. Some kind of symbology there. Interesting. Could be an ether fencing. Look at the man, it's beautiful. Scrubbed cartouches. Taurus fields. You know, where are the lions in America? Why are we, you know, showing lions all over the place? What do lions have to do with America? I mean, when's the last time you were in the wilds of America and ran across a lion in the woods? Roar. Otis, that's the elevator manufacturer. So they say. Probably ain't true. That's cool right there. Dry goods. Well, we love to write on things. That's definitely something we do, is write on things. We're good at that, no doubt. Alright, moving on. Courthouse, Pontiac 3? Huh? Oh, Pontiac, Illinois. Oh, okay. Fire hydrant. Fire hydrants, I believe, are old world. Mudflood windows there on the bottom, in case you like to come see those. This image doesn't look like it's the highest res. Ether fencing, got portals, more portals there. More portals there, more ether fencing. Clocks are expensive. Ether antenna, ether fencing. Wind catcher input. I don't see the output, although this could be the output. I suspect that chimneys could be part of the output system, but I'm not sure about that. Another portal. That's a big courthouse for Pontiac, Illinois, wherever the hell that is. And we got the Dewey Arch in New York. New York City. There's the horse dung, in case, you know, anybody's interested in that. Why people are interested in that, I don't know. Interesting lady on a ball holding up the laurel leaf of control. Look at these little penis hat wearing fellas. Alrighty. And I just don't I don't know about this stuff right here. I think this stuff was added, but I don't know. You kind of look at this, and they don't go together. That's just my opinion. Looks like Medusa on that shield. That is crazy looking right there. She looked like she about to rip somebody's head off. That is a beautiful column there representing the arch. I mean, you just imagine that as energy flowing. That's beautiful. I mean, wow, that's intricate. Got one of the bridges up there. Keystone. There's an eagle, otherwise known as a phoenix. I'm assuming that's Poseidon. That might be his wife, maybe. I don't know. I'm not big on Greek, all that mess. I just find it boring. I just don't see it, because it's all copied from other things, so I just didn't spend a lot of time on Greek history and all that crap. So I think it's all made up. That is crazy looking. That is a crazy picture right there. Oh man, that is crazy. These dudes is hooking up. They'll say, no, they're hugging. No, they're not. They're getting ready to kiss. I'm just telling you right now. And these ones is already kissing. Of course, that's a girl, but these ones ain't. These is boys. I'm just telling you right now. Them boys is getting ready to get it on. I'm just telling you. Yeah, do what you do. Do your thing. Do you? Ain't whatever. Just don't bother me. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Wish I could see that thing better. What is that? That's a damn obelisk. Damn! Damn, who the hell put an obelisk there? Boy, they love their obelisk. Damn, that thing. That thing. Let's see. That's 10. That's about a 40-foot obelisk. Wow. How'd y'all wreck that thing? Jeez. City of Mexico. San Antonio. Montreal? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's got laurel leaf. Oh yeah, OJ did it. We all know that. You know who else did it? Courtney Love. Looking at Courtney Love taking out her husband. Yep. Kurt Cobain. That ain't that, man. You got to go watch that documentary called "Soaked in Bleach," and then look into a guy named Alan Wrench. That's the guy that killed Kurt Cobain. I'm convinced of that. You want a good rabbit hole to go down? That's a good one. That's an entertaining thing right there. Let me tell you, that's crazy. There's that ball thing. It's interesting. What we got here? These guys were added. 1775. Yeah. To the glory of the American Navy and the greeting to our Admiral. A grateful city relying on their valor has built this arch. In some damn Roman ass numeral. I don't read Roman numerals. Probably I something. 1899. Yeah, I suspect these guys might have been a later edition. I don't know. Hard telling that one. This is old world here though. Straight up laurel leaf. Man. Maybe a Phoenician boat. This is like a hodgepodge of bullshit. And let's see what we got going. Got a tripod here. Might be laying a cornerstone for something. Look how the road goes up a hill. Look, all these guys taking pictures back here. Anywho, Erie Canal, Rochester, New York, between 1900 and 1906. And I believe the canals ran with the railroad tracks, and they were interconnected somehow, and their old world. So I'm going with that opinion. I think that's a good opinion. Look how the ground level's here, okay, and then you got all this under that ground level. Makes you wonder. You'd have to do a little more research on this to really get to the bottom of that. But it's interesting, nonetheless. Both phones. Okay. Alright, I don't know what that means. Arc lights. There's Fred. Back there working. There's Mrs. Fred, lady in uniform. That's boss man right there. Beds for 10, men 15. Okay. Mudflood windows. Osborne House. See that line there? They got that ladder there so they could add a damn flag to it. You know, there was a fad back then in this time frame called flagpole sitting, and men would climb up to the top of the flagpole. And you know what I just thought of just now, ether antenna, is that maybe that fad was just a cover for, they had to get an attachment up here to run the lines up and down for the flags. Maybe the flagpole sitting was a cover story for them climbing up those poles and adding those little hooks and stuff, the pulleys to the top of the flagpoles. Because if you're going to take an ether antenna and turn it into a flagpole, at some point you got to climb that flagpole, which I don't know if you've ever climbed a flagpole. I certainly have not. Ether antenna. I certainly have not climbed a flagpole, but I'm telling you right now, I don't imagine climbing a flagpole is the easiest thing in the world. So I'd imagine that there would be need to be a pretty good cover story to do that without standing out like a sore thumb. Okay, I just gave a theory. I don't know if it's true. It's just something interesting. I was looking for the railroad track evidence. It could be further back over here because they're not always exactly together. And it also could run up here. I don't know. Have to look more into that to find that one. This is called the Ether Monument in Public Garden, Boston. And now this is a monument to, if you'll see here, to commemorate the discovery that the inhalants of ether, is what's missing, causes insensibility to or something, first proved to the world, I'm assuming, at the Mass Central Hospital in Boston, AD, as in Roman numerals. And then it says over here, ether shall there be something, basically there shall be no more pain, I guess, or something. Basically, we're talking about knocking people out. So they're saying that this monument is to ether, which is not ether as in the energy field ether. There's Osama, the CIA operative. You know him? Anyways. Torch field. But, you know, they're saying that this is, I mean, they could easily, let's put it this way. They could easily chisel this in here, no problem. Okay. I don't know about this business. I can't really see those good enough to really talk about that. But then you got this Tartarian lions down here. Okay. Which is red flaggy. It looks like it could be in a pond, in a fountain. So this thing might have been a fountain. You got this weird right here that looks like, to me, like it's water, but it could be it could be shade, but I don't know. What if, this is a fountain and it's, I don't know. It's hard to say. And what's this dude got to do with Boston? I don't know. It's just a weird picture. Anyways, 5th Avenue north from 51st Street in New York City. And there's Fred, he's on the job, and Wilbur and Mrs. Fred are over here. This guy is asleep, it looks like. Ladies in uniform, and everything's big in New York. I mean, look at that. Good grief, ether light. Big old wrought iron covering up the mud flood right there. Beautiful. Just incredible. So these are some of the mansions that are down there. I'm assuming. Those look plain, like something was knocked off of them. Scrubbed off. Flat earth asterisk, in case you need to know what kind of world you live in. That tells you right there. That, those are suspect right there. Oh, I can't see that too good. Look at the intricacy of that, man. Portal. Another portal. Another ether light. Those look scrubbed to me. This looks scrubbed. Wow. Flat earth asterisks. Oh, yep. See, right here. There's flat earth asterisks. That looks like could be a line right there, but I'm not sure. It's not clear enough. Well, man, what a time. There's some lions. What does lions have to do with America? Somebody explain that to me. Griffin, right there, Tartarian griffin. Wow. This must have been some high-ranking Tartarian official. I mean, this thing is dripping. Look at that. Is that that's a dragon, I think. Ether antenna. Got some dude just sitting on the roof. That is a weird statue. Another ether antenna. Another ether antenna. Another dude's sitting up there. Wow, this thing is crazy. Big old archway. More mudflood drop in right there. Ivy growing up the side. Wind catcher there. Collecting that ether up here. Ether antenna. Another wind catcher. Arc lights. Can't see a whole lot down there. And there's some horsey poo for the people that like the horsey poo for some reason. Gate mechanism at Salt Street. Marie locks. So this thing is for a boat lock. I mean, that just looks like old world tech right there. That thing is massive. That's the lock. Arched windows back there, arc light. Look at these windows right here. That's interesting. Ghost man. Arched windows, ether antenna. Looks like something. That's weird looking right there. I don't know. That could be an antenna. I was wondering where they had. Maybe it was a wind catcher. There's another one in. There's the other side. I guess that runs one door, one runs the other. Those machines are huge. Another arc light. Anyways, just some old world tech, I think. Marlborough House, Atlantic City, New Jersey, between 1900 and 1906. Just everybody's always decked to the nines. This might be the same building we saw in the first pictures. I believe it is. That is beautiful architecture. Wish you could see those better. That is just amazing construction. I love to see blueprints and stuff like this. But hey, it's rare to find blueprints. I think some of them they went in and basically told architecture students to go in these buildings and reverse engineer them and draw up blueprints, and there's your class credit. Do your thesis on how to do a CAD drawing of that. Moses Taylor Hospital, Scranton, Pennsylvania, PA. Or Pennsylvania. Is that Pennsylvania? PA. Anyways. It's late and I'm tired. You'll figure it out. Big old rod iron. What are you up to, young lady? And that is fire hydrant. Looks old world. Looks like Mr. Contractor's back here building him a building. He gets work, Mr. Contractor. Portal. Looks like a circle punct. Represents the creator. That is a flat earth asterisk. It's a half of a flat earth asterisk, but it counts. Still explains the same principle. This would be your north and the top of the torus, and this would be your flat plane of the earth. It looks like a circle punct. That's interesting porch work there. Mudflood windows there. Even though these aren't going in the ground, they're still mudflood windows, because what idiot builds windows on the ground? It's just stupid. Oh, you gotta get locked near the basement. They ain't have no power back then. Well, how about this? How about you don't build a basement? Why don't you start there? Why don't you think about it this way? See this big ass pile of mud right here? Subtract that and imagine that building goes down in the ground. It's bigger than it looks. And I bet you if you got in the bowels of this building, deep down in there, look at the archway up there. That is huge. I bet you got in the bowels of this building, you'd find out some interesting things. That's a wind catcher, bringing in the wind and sucking it down. Pyramid symbology. We added these horse crap fire escapes. Definitely the awnings. We love adding awnings. And anywho, I think that's, well, okay, moving on. New York, circa 1904, the submarine boat, Coney Island. And let's see here. I believe fire hydrants are old world. Ice cream. For some reason, I don't know why, but it interests me that they had ice cream back then. It's probably no big deal. I'm not saying it's weird. It's strange to me that think they had ice cream before, refrigeration. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. I know they had ice, but it's just strange. I don't know. Everybody's decked to the nines. Look at that. Torpedo. Your weight free if I fail to guess within 3 pounds. Boy, that scam's been around a long time. That grotesque face. Adults. Oh, okay. The children could go in there. Okay. I like it. It's just for adults there for a second. Not that there's infant incubators. God, that's weird. That is such a strange topic. One of the most fascinating pieces of information that I've run across in studying the orphan trains and the infant incubators and stuff like that is where they interviewed some of the orphan train children, and what a weird building. Man, that looks just like the gun off my duality video that I just released, which was a crazy video. But they were interviewing the children, and they were saying that the children, the people that were the orphan children, were saying that when they were dropped off at when they got off the train and they were given, before they were given over to their new family, they were told to forget their past. And that just really stuck with me, that forget your past. I mean, what a thing to tell a child. Children are so so impressionable. You can imprint something like that on a child, and they'll take it to heart. That means something to a child. This reminds me of, if you ever been to the oh gosh, Disney Pleasure Island Rainforest Cafe. This reminds me of the entrance to the Rainforest Cafe for some reason. Anyways, moving on. New York, 1908. Excavations for New York Central Station, Grand Central Terminal, under construction as its predecessor, Grand Central Station. Okay. And we got a steam shovel here. I believe this is what they dug the mud out with, these steam shovels. They ran them on the tracks and just dug them out, just as you're seeing here. I believe they also dug out train tracks this way. They would steam shovel up, and they'd run down the line and steam shovel it, and then bring the line up and move it. Anyways, that didn't make much sense, but this image is just interesting. I can't tell a whole lot about it because the way it's done, but this is a viaduct here. This is considered a viaduct, and this is ground level. So here's ground level, and I'm not saying this is mud flooding. I'm just saying it's interesting to look at. You see some of those. There's a pipe going into what looks like a brick structure there. This looks like a brick structure under the ground. More brick structure here and here. Got some sort of structure here, brick. So there's something going on there. I wonder if these are that's weird. I don't know what this stuff is on top here. I don't know. Maybe. Man, look at that thing. Good grief. Look at these old ass rickety cranes. That's what you depended on to construct shit like this. Rickety ass cranes like this. Yeah, that's heavy lift. Yeah, okay, yeah. Portals, ether antenna. Got that dripping fruit thing, whatever the hell that is. Ether antenna. Ether antenna, more portals. Look at that big boy. Good gracious. It's like a brick wall's been torn down. There's another one of them weird towers. I guess it's an ether antenna, but I don't know. Anyways, New York, 1908, the Singer Building, shortly after its completion. And a lot of speculation on this building. I haven't done a lot of looking into that building, but just on face value, portals, more portals, ether fencing. It's very suspect. Portals. It's got telltale signs of old world all over it. Clocks are expensive. Look at the man. I mean, this Singer Building is just something else. Yeah, look at this fool. I mean, this is the intelligence we're dealing with here. And they're saying that little sapsucker can build that. I mean, come on. I just don't buy it. I don't know. There's something weird going on here. I mean, a lot of these photographs we see of construction are actually old world photographs. And they say, oh, there's construction photographs. Yeah, it's construction photographs, you're right. But they're old world construction photographs. They had cameras. Look at the portals on that thing. And that right there, I did a video on monstrances. Look into the Catholic monstrances. That looks just like a monstrance. Anyways, that's probably a wind catcher. I mean, this thing is just old world. I mean, it looks old world. But, I don't know. Let's see, this building right here looks like something we built. I could see us building that building right there. See how plain it is? How, I don't know, just boring. Utility. You know, it's just, it's bland and boring and just blah. New York, 1912, Dakota Apartments, Central Park West and West 72nd Street. He's up no good. Any person taking flowers or leaves, some, arrested and punished. Okay. I guess they were having a problem with people taking their stuff. That looks Phoenician right there. Mudflood windows, by the way, in case you didn't see those. Got a ladder lean, fella changing the arc light out. Yeah, that's technology we got right there, you know. There's Fred, he's doing some cabin today. Fred does it all, man. Fred is the horse to build America. Look at that arrestor lights, man. Good gracious. It's like a castle back here. Man. This is apartments. I mean, seriously? I mean, this is just Venetian shell. I think this is a technology right here. They removed something from this nave right here. I think it's called a nave. I forget what that's called. If that's called a nave, tell me so. If it's not called a nave, tell me so. What's that called? Right there, those things right there. I was trying to figure that out. Remember that the other day. Anyways, there's something missing in there. They took something out of there. And why they just leave it plain? Why don't they put a statue in there at least to make it look like they didn't take something out of there? Why is that so difficult? They do that all the time. I mean, if you're gonna hide it, hide it. Sometimes you gotta put something back. That's weird right there. I don't know. I can't see that too good. Pyramid symbology. Ether antennas. Ether fencing. Portals over here. Scrub cartouches. Well, they love cartouches. There's another one of those doodads. Mudflood windows all across. Anyways, New York, this is 1912 Wall Street with view of Bankers Trust Building and Trinity Church. And if you remember your history, Trinity Church had a big part in 9/11. This is real near the Ground Zero area. And he is definitely up to no good, no doubt. Definitely getting ready to pickpocket somebody. There's an entrance to the underground right there. Look at the columns. Good grief. Scrubbed cartouche. Something looks scrubbed off that too. Phoenician wave. Looks like portals right there. I think we put that flagpole there. Ether lights. Looks like entrances to the Mudflood there. Got some construction going on here. Diamond symbology there. Whoa, going on up. Whoa, hello. Trunk-teddy pyramid. Okay. Now that is a wind catcher right there. Wind goes in, it funnels it down into the building. That's old world tech right there. Scrub cartouche. Mud. Let's see. Arc light. These angles are extreme. It's hard to see things. Arched windows. Ether fencing. Ether antenna. Could be the sub rosa there. And there. It's all facade. It's brick buildings though. Bank of New York. Wow. Entrance to underground there. Hello, Mudflood. Offices to let. Entrance to the Mudflood. Representing the Taurus on the columns there. Maybe capacitors. Alrighty. Philadelphia 1910, Bellevue and Stratford Hotel. Damn, that's a big sucker. Wow. Ether antenna. Coal hole cover. There's Fred. Fred's on the job. Got grates with Mudflood. Windows there. That could be pavement light right there, but not sure. Definitely an entrance into the underground there. We probably modified this here. Coal hole cover there. Another entrance to the Mudflood down there with Mudflood windows. Another coal hole cover. Mudflood windows. Mudflood windows. More Mudflood windows. Stupid ass steps we had to put up to the next floor because we got mud flooded. You know, there's talk. You know, these buildings were built by the giants. You know, in case you hadn't figured that out. That's why everything's so big. That's why all the ceilings are, you know, 12 foot and 20 foot high, and doors are 12 foot and 20 foot high. Okay, you know, this world was occupied by giants. We were here too. Oh, that's some detail. Wow. Wish this was higher res, but oh, look at that dude. Man, portals. Big old ether fencing, ether antenna. Man, this thing's crazy. Portals, another ether fencing, ether antenna. Man, all kinds of goodies on that building. Mr. Contractor, please bid on this one. I know you can do it. You can do anything, Mr. Contractor. There's Wilbur. Coal hole cover, Mudflood windows. That's great. I believe those are great. When they're dark like this, they're great. Usually. You also look at the time frame, 1910. 1910, you're really getting into where most of the grates are gone. The grates are usually prior to 1900, because they were a bad idea. They were a temporary fix that didn't work. That's why they came up with the pavement light. Ether antenna right there. And you always see these signs, offices and rooms to let. Look at all these smokestacks that probably ain't smokestacks. It's probably the water towers. Anyways. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1910. Wood Street from Liberty Avenue. That's pavement light there. That is a great. And you see how this is darker? And when you get back, see how it's blacker and it's lighter here? That's how you know it's a grate, because when it's lower, when the resolution's lower, a grate is dark. whereas pavement light is light. Pavement light was the older pavement light where it had the metal frames stands out. This is a metal frame pavement light, and I could tell that because it's dark. But the older pavement light, the stuff that was done after say 1900, where it was used, where they used concrete frame, they blended into the sidewalk much better, at least at first. Then they stood out like a sore thumb when they solarized. That's probably part of the wind catcher for the air conditioning right there. And I think a lot of the wind catchers were removed. Clocks are expensive. There's Fred. Fred's on job. Mrs. Fred's right there. Those coal hole covers right there, those circles. And coal hole covers are simple to find. I mean, you know, if they're in the sidewalk, they're a coal hole cover. It's real simple. And they were sold by the same companies that sold pavement light. It's all one thing, you know. These companies, they had to come up with ways to cover this up, and these companies came up with ways, and they sold these products. I've got great catalogs on these things. I mean, look at, I mean, you got to cut that window in a circle. You know, you got to circularize that there. And look at that thing. I mean, kick grief. I don't know. You got coal hole covers here. These look like trap doors. Mudflood windows. Weird looking. Seriously freaking weird looking. That's pavement light. This is the newer style here. And these are shitty ones. I don't know how to tell you, I don't know how to explain to you why I know that, but these are not the good, what were considered the good ones. They failed too. They all failed. They were a bullshit idea. This pavement light going around the corner here. I'm going to keep harking on this pavement light. My dying last word is going to be pavement light is cover up for Mudflood. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm on my deathbed talking about some damn vault lights. They had different names. Glass sidewalks, pavement light, vault lights, vault pavement lights, prism lights. Okay? That's going to be my last words. Somebody going to hear that coming out my mouth as I croak. Pavement light! And I'll die. But then y'all know what I'm talking about. Public Library, Boston, Massachusetts, between 1900 and 1906. Little electric car hanging out. That is not the boss man. That's the boss man. And gangsters waiting for some work. That's Fred. He's got his coat on today. The eagle. Eagle represents a phoenix. There's them balls. What them balls are about. Big old arched doorways. This is a library, y'all. I can't see them symbols. The Commonwealth requires the education of the people as the safeguard of order and liberty. Yeah. That's other antenna. Well, they forgot to tell you about a few things. I believe Phoenician shells. That could be a lion there going across there. They certainly didn't tell you about these Phoenician shells or these ether antennas. They didn't tell you about that. Is that a flagpole? Does that look like a freaking flagpole to you? Does that look like a flagpole? That looks like a flagpole. Does that look like a flagpole? What is that for? Oh, that's a lightning rod. That ain't a damn lightning rod. Public Library of the City of Boston, built by the people and dedicated to the advancement of learning. Okay, that's Phoenician. Vincent. Okay. It could be a griffin, Tartarian griffin right there is what it looks like. Man, these symbols are interesting. Wish I could see them clearer, but I can't. Interesting though. What else is interesting is they got flat earth asterisks going all the way across the front of the building here. That's very interesting. Flat earth asterisks. That's what I call it. I don't know what else to call it. There might be, a better term for it. I have not found it. If you know what it is, let me know. If you got a better term for it. It's like some crap we chiseled into the building for some reason. Phoenician wave, and this is a Phoenician wave, and this is a swastika. So we got swastikas all over the Boston Public Library, y'all. Because swastika is an important symbol. It's a good symbol. It means very important things. It means quite a few different things. But it certainly has nothing to do with, Hitler and Nazi Germany. That came later. He stole it. Matter of fact, Hitler stole the swastika, and I'm stealing it back. How about that? Ether lights. Man, I wouldn't want to sit on that. You would be sore. Phoenician. That's Phoenician. Looks like the Sub Rosa there. Look at them doors. My goodness. God. Good gracious. All to get a damn book. You're telling me you need that to read a book. That's helpful to read. Come on, man. Saginaw, Michigan, circa 1905, Hotel Vincent. And I'm going to go ahead and check out Fred Wilbur there on the job. Getting some horsing done. There's a grate, and that's got Mudflood windows. Arched windows below ground with grates. And this is, okay, see this right here, these arches? This is what this will look like. Matter of fact, that's what you'll see all the way around that building. So that's what's under there. They're showing their cards there. And later on, I bet you a nickel you can find an older picture and that's got pavement light over it. Bet you a nickel. There's another arch below ground. I mean, does that make sense that you would build like that in any universe? Name a universe that makes sense in. Oh, wait, Mr. Contractor would say that makes sense. But then again, Mr. Contractor's probably an idiot. Like a, well-versed idiot. And it looks like something was removed right there, and then we added this horseshit ladder here. Same here. That's our antenna. Look at that brickwork there. Wow. Boss man going to work. Intricacy there. Well, that's weird. Huh. That's odd. That looks like something was removed there. Yeah, smokestack was probably not a smokestack. Looks like something was removed out of that pyramid. These look like they have ventilators in there, vents into the basement there. Arch. Okay. San Francisco, 1906. The Call newspaper building from Grant Avenue. And we got a dude out arc light here. Really charred that wood. Man, there's Fred. He's on the job right there. This is a do attack. This is what is called a directed energy weapon attack. And if you do not believe in directed energy weapons, look into them, because the United States military is using them today, confirmed, on ships and in helicopters, in planes. They are a weapon that they are it's actually official. They're talking about it now. So I'm not just making this shit up, man. Okay, this is official mainstream news. You could go watch videos of these weapons being used on modern day military apparatus. Okay, now they've had it a long time, but I'm saying now they're coming out and saying, oh yeah, we got that. Oh yeah, that's the future. That ain't the future, it's the past. And they had steel buildings back then, by the way. Steel is not new. No. They had steel in the old world. At their lighting there. Yeah, they had to get rid of San Francisco. It was definitely too nice. They had too much going on. They couldn't explain it. It didn't fit the timeline. Scrubbed cartouches. This thing is just incredible. I mean, that's got to be some sort of wind catcher. Portals, cupola, ether antenna up there. I think that, look at that light. That's a trip. Scrub cartouche, Phoenician wave. They had to see, these buildings are brick. See that? This is just facade. Brick, brick, brick. All that brick. San Francisco also 1906. Tower of City Hall after earthquake and fire. Blah, blah, blah. Was no earthquake. Although they can use directed energy weapons to create earthquakes. So maybe there was an earthquake. You know, I would imagine what they did was they used the DEW weapons to fry the buildings, and then to get them to crumble, they used earthquake. They just shook them after they were already degraded. But that directed energy weapon stuff is, I mean, you know, you've seen evidence of that in California recently, you know, where they take out entire neighborhoods, leave the trees. You ever seen houses burned down to ash? I've never in my life seen a house burned down to ash. Ever. Even in the worst house fire I ever saw, it didn't burn down to remotely what would look like ash. Mudflood windows. I mean, look, this is ground level. And look down here. What you got going on? Underground level. You know? Oh, that's the basement. Ugh. That's our antenna. Brick, brick, brick. Look at that. A dome within a dome. Wow, look at that thing. What's going on there? That's interesting. What the hell's going on there? It's old world steel. There's your flat earth asterisks. Those are crazy ass windows. Whoa, look at that. Man. Who's that supposed to be? Lady Liberty? The light bringer? Oh, Lucifer herself? I don't know. Man. See, look at that column. See that column? See what's going up through there? Columns aren't what you think they are. That's something that fascinated me when I started doing mudflood research, is learning about how columns were made and how they're not what you think they are. They're just not. A lot of them are made of brick, which I never knew that. You know, that's just something I didn't know. Look at, I mean, that's just, oh man. Okay, moving on. And I'd like to give a shout out to my Patreons. Your support is greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to support my work here on the UziTube, the link is in description. I don't take monetization from YouTube, so Patreon, and I have a Teespring merchandise store, and that's the only way that I bring in funds from my efforts here. My goal isn't to make money doing this, but the money does keep the engine moving. So, you know, I'd appreciate any support that you'd be willing to throw old Big's way. But either way, I'm going to keep going and doing what I do as long as I can. So 1900 Randolph Street east from LaSalle, Chicago, Illinois. And ArcLight, and Fred's on the job. The new breakfast food. Nut flake oatmeal. Okay. Boss man. And got Mudflood access right there, it looks like. Okay. Back up here. Interesting symbology there. Looks like that Phoenician lady there. Some kind of flower. Kind of looks like a dogwood flower, but I don't know. Taurus. Man, that is some detail on that building. This one's been vanilla skied. See how white that is? That ain't nature. Nope. There ain't no nature to that. Sometimes if you look real close, you can see where they did it. That could be, that line right there could be, I don't know if you can even see that. That could be evidence of Photoshop. There's some evidence of Photoshop right there. See that line right there? And right there. And it disappears right here. And right there it comes right off the building a little bit. Yep, this one's been scraped into a vanilla sky. So that is a photoshopped image right there. Sure is. Over here they left some clouds. Maybe they want you to think it's smoke. That probably is smoke. This looks, up here looks more real, if you want to call it that. But this area right here is definitely vanilla skied. No doubt. That's my opinion. Savings bank. Woohoo. Okay. Boy, they love to get your money and put it in a box and tell you it's safe. I find it just fascinating that anybody can go online and steal your money right out your bank account, but you try to go in the bank and get your own money out, and they want 15 forms of identification and an ass cheek print. Now, how's that work? That's pavement light right there. That's coal hole cover. That's a octagonal coal hole cover. There's another one. There's a round coal hole cover. There's a Mudflood access right there. Another one right there, in case you need to get down into the Mudflood. Look at that. Got your dog statue. Democratic Party of Cook County. Alrighty. Sherman House. There's another entrance to the Mudflood. That's a long trolley. 4-car trolley. Arched windows. Portal up here. Okay, moving on. Shoot the chutes, i.e. shoots. Okay. Coney Island. Alright. Shoot the chutes. Boy, they look like they're having a ball. This was a popular ride back then. There's Fred. He's on the job. I'm telling you, Fred is just the man. That light's been blown out. Got an arc light there. I don't know that, say this is Coney Island, but I don't know. Kind of weird, right? I think this is old. I think these things are old world tech. I think not only these are rides, I think these things had something to do with the free energy grid. These trolley parks. Look at that. It's a vernacular is what that is. I mean, these things just don't look safe to me, but what's that thing? I don't know. Anyways, Springfield, Massachusetts, 1908, Worthy Hotel. And Fred's on the job, getting the Fredding done. That's Boss Man right there. Street is wet. They had, I think that's an old world fire hydrant right there. I think they did this from time to time as they wet the street. See, this guy's doing something with a broom or something. Clocks are expensive. Keep saying it. That building looks Moorish back there on the right hand side. Wow, that looks pretty Moorish right there. Yes, very Moorish. Alright, now that we're up here, eagle. That's actually going to be a phoenix, because the eagles they're hiding the symbology of the phoenix. They wanted to put phoenixes up, but they didn't want you to know, about the phoenix, so they hid that as the eagle. They put it on every damn thing in America, but it represents the phoenix. Travelers Insurance Company. There's that dripping fruit business. Wish I understood what that meant. The scrubbed cartouche there. That's interesting. There's a cartouche with this, got something on it. That's really weird. That's a weird one. I hadn't seen one like that. Very interesting. That looks like pavement light right there. Looks like ventilation in the underground. Ventilation there, pavement light. There's pavement light there and ventilation in the underground. There's pavement light right there, ventilation in the underground. Another barbershop underground. Let's go get our hair cut in the dark. That makes sense. There's Wilbur. Wilbur's on the job. And mud flood windows all the way down the road, because this is obviously mud flooded. Arch windows. Diamond symbology, as above, so below. I'd say that looks like a sub rosa to me. Scrub cartouches, Taurus fields, Phoenician shells, Phoenician waves. We would have added that wording. That is a beautiful window, except for that damn awning. Scrub cartouches. Wow. Moving on. St. Paul, Minnesota, 1905, Ryan Hotel. And what we gonna have here? Got Fred and Wilbur over here on the job. Got pavement light. Let's see. Electric lighted trains. That's actually very dangerous what they're doing right there, because those pavement lights were prone to fail. Those are the shitty ones. Those are the originals. They really had a lot of problems with those. Yeah, I don't think I put my ladder up there, but anyways. He's up to something, modifying something. More pavement light down the front here. Wow. Big old building. Looks like ether antennas, pyramids, ether fencing, ether antenna. That ain't no flagpole. That brickwork right there, man, that's cool. That looks like the Green Man there. Inside a pyramid. Interesting. At their antennas, at their fencing. Interesting. Prism glass right here. These had different designs in them too. You could pick your designs, and some of those designs, quote unquote, were designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, which I think's bullshit. I think he's bullshit. But I got a barbershop. I don't see a down, but anyways. Yeah, I don't think Frank Lloyd Wright was, I think he was, you know how they assign architects to all these buildings. I think he was an architect they assigned to certain types of buildings and homes and gave him credit for it. I think he was just another one of those. The Jersey Shore, circa 1904, Steel Pier, Atlantic City. all these people just sitting around their damn clothes. It's just boater hats, just so strange. And look at these folks. Just, I don't know, it's just a weird world. This is a world I don't understand. Lights. How the hell did they, you know, the wiring, I mean, think about the wiring of that right there. I guess they went in from behind and wired it early or something. Cupolas at their antennas could have, you know, that could be bringing in air at the top to bring in air conditioning. Good gosh, look, I mean, on a pier, how does that make sense? Do y'all ain't never heard of hurricanes before? Seriously? You're gonna put that much money and effort and time into building such a beautiful structure, and you know a hurricane's gonna come through and tear it up. You know this. The Queen City, circa 1905, Elm Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. And there's Fred. Fred's on the job, as usual. Fred doesn't get days off, I don't think. Poor fella. Something water is more essential than a selected wine. Okay. Tell us how you feel. At their antennas, at their fencing. Some sort of symbol there. That I could make an argument for that being a flat Earth asterisk right there. Possibly. Wow, those are wild windows. At their antennas. At their antennas. I wish we had better shots of these buildings. It's hard to shoot a building, you know, you got a building across the street. You can't just back up far enough to get the shot, but coal hole covers right here on the front. Ventilation into the underground. This is probably pavement light, but I can't tell for sure. Y'all just don't realize how Florida Lee. Y'all don't realize how much pavement light was in America or in the world. I mean, it was all around the world, but mainly in it was mostly in America, I think, for the most part. It was pretty big in England too. But it could have been. There could be more than. It's quite possible there's more than I even know about, because if I was to speak other languages, I might find more. Vicksburg, Mississippi, circa 1909. This is Vicksburg National Military Park. New concrete observatory tower. And there were, from my research, 3 of these made at this time period, and they all failed, and they were all destroyed. That is really weird looking. But I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. These I don't know. There's 3 of these towers, or were 3 of these towers. Very strange. Washington, D.C., circa 1922, Willard Hotel, 14th Street at Pennsylvania Avenue. And what do we got going here? Got director of the traffic. Big old onion dome. Flagpole antenna. Ether light. It's got underground access right there. Right here, probably going into Mudflood windows right there. We would have added this right here, this awning business. Portal. Wow. A heck of a building. Looks like they're doing some construction up here. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. They're up to something up there. Scrub cartouche. Oh damn, this dude. Look at this dude. Yep, playing with the ether antenna. Portals. Excuse me, portholes. The 2 Utes. What's a Ute? Oh, excuse me. Youths. Have you ever seen that movie? My Cousin Vinny. That's a great movie. You got to see that. That is a classic. It's got something scrubbed here. Oh man. What's a grit? Oh, I'm sorry. I got me thinking about that movie. That movie's funny as hell. Look at this. Got this underground access here. Mudflood windows. Oh man. Waste paper. Yeah, it's almost waste paper. It's almost like they want you to waste paper. You know what I'm saying? The way they say that. Why don't they just call it trash? And what if you want to throw something in there that's not waste paper work? You know, that's not paper. I'm just saying. Washington, D.C., circa 1924, Jane's Candy Store, 9th Street. And my eyes drawn to these bullseye on here. That's a coho cover with pavement light, and these little circles here. This is the pavement light, the bigger circle, and the little circle are raised nubs. And originally they didn't have the raised nubs, and they were really slick, like when it was raining or snowing or something. So they added the nubs to help with traction. Got a trap door there, and there's another coal hole cover with a pavement light, and this is pavement light as well down here on the front of the store, going across the front. This picture's been seen better days, the negative. Interesting. That's weird. I mean, it's I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a green man, but it's reminiscent of a green man with the leaves going up there. I don't know. That's interesting. James. Mandarin Chinese restaurant. Look at that. Look at that horse shit right there. See, that's a sewage pipe. going up. It's been modified or added later. They had to get it up there somehow. It's weird. And it's a big candy cane. Good gracious. That candy cane's as big as that girl. My goodness. Alright, I'm done playing. Looking at that. Washington, D.C. Library of Congress between 1897 and 1910. Big old ether lights. Might be an ether light. I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. That's interesting. What the hell is that thing? I don't know. Got some kind of something going on there, going down into underneath. Some kind of statues. Must be a fountain of some sort. Library of Congress. Last week's show we looked at the inside of this dome here. Very interesting. Looks like something happened there. The negative maybe. Phoenician shells. Dripping fruit. Wow, that's a big, big, big old building. Big, big old building. Wish I could see the bottom better. Scrubbed cartouche there. Look at that arch there. Good grief. That thing is absolutely freaking massive. Oh, that reminds me. I noticed. One thing that aggravates me is that they came out with the Da Vinci Code first, then Angels and Demons, and then oh gosh, what's the other books? Inferno. That was crap. And they hadn't done Origins, but they did. They were supposed to do the Lost Symbol, and they started on it, and then they stopped production. Now, just recently, I saw a commercial. They're coming out with I don't know if it's a movie or a TV series of the Lost Symbol, the Dan Brown, and it's about Washington D.C. and all about the secret society mess in Washington D.C. And that is a great book if you hadn't read that book. I highly suggest that book, The Lost Symbol by Dan Brown. Very interesting. And yes, you got to weed through Dan Brown's, way of doing things. But you can glean a lot of information from his work. Okay, you have to separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay, with anything. I don't care what you're reading. Okay. I don't care if you're reading the New York Times or the Bible. There's horse shit in all of it. You got to separate the wheat from the chaff, and it's mostly, chaff. Okay, so you got to do a lot of sifting. Okay, but the Lost Symbol that was a real good read. There's a lot going on in that book. You should check it out. And there's a reason they didn't want to put that out like they did the other movies. Because to be honest with you, I think it was better than all the other Dan Brown books. My personal opinion. And this is Worcester, Massachusetts in 1905, Union Station. Ether antenna. Looks like something was removed out of there. Ether antennas up here. Clocks are expensive. I think these could have something to do with fractal, but anyways. There's Fred. Fred's getting him a drink of water. Wilbur's running around with Mrs. Fred. There's a little something going on there, but we're not going to talk about that. Does that looks, that just don't look right to me. The way that comes into the building at an angle, why would you design that way? That don't look right to me. I don't know. Yeah, that looks added. That signage. Ether fencing across the top here with ether antennas. La la la. Smokestack, that ain't a smokestack. We turned it into a smokestack, so we could smoke everything. Look at them big ass arches. Good grief, that thing is huge. Anyways. And Soldiers Monument, Troy, New York, 1905. And this photo is special. And see if you can figure out what's going on here. See if you can figure out the hanky-panky going on in this photograph. Get you a little bit in here. Get you a little closer. You can look around a little bit. That's weird right there. I don't know. That's strange. These two right here, especially the girl, look posed to me. Strangely, like we're told to sit there like that. And these two right here look like they're posed. This lady looks posed. I don't know what's going on with that dude. I guess he just turned his head around. That's wicked looking. And pretty interesting back there. Let's go over here, see what we got. I don't want to show you the juice until I'm ready, because I don't think I want to. Because I want to tease you a little bit. Fire hydrants, I believe, are old world. There's Fred. Fred's back there getting the Fredding done. He's the horse that built America. This is weird here. Got wires hanging out of here on this light. Maybe they're just installing it. Maybe. Here's another one with wires hanging out, which is weird. Okay, so that's a Phoenician wave right there. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. See anything wrong there? Take your time. Okay. I'll come back to that. You see anything wrong there? How about there? See anything wrong over here? How about here? Anything here? What about here? Okay. Now, obviously we got an obelisk. Okay. And my question, first off, would be, how did they erect that obelisk prior to, 1905? Okay. I guarantee that's a heavy son of a bitch. Look at the scale. Use these boys as scale. That's a big son of a bitch. We added that horse shit right there. That wasn't on there. Okay. Probably added this horse shit. This is probably original. Blah blah blah. Who cares? These things aren't to fallen soldiers. These are old world ether antennas. Okay, you see right here? That's photoshopped. See that line right there? Okay. And then it goes over this way. It's been photoshopped out. You see the line right here? You can see the lines right here. Clear as a bell now. See that line? Where'd that line go? Where'd that line go? It's been vanilla skied. Follow this line. Up, 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 up. Ooh, what we got going here? Got a whole bunch of going here. And you might wonder, oh, that might be a crack. Well, look over here. See, there's the same thing. It's trolley lines. Okay? They photoshopped the trolley lines. And you see how that, look, they did a bad job at vanilla skying. See, they've cut into the obelisk. See how that obelisk is all wavy and wonky? It's not straight and flat. And you can see right here, there's a, they might even have took a chunk out of right here. But see right there, they forgot to vanilla sky it good there. That's old world right there. Forgot to vanilla sky it right there and right here. I don't know if you can see this. Now, the pictures are in the description as always. So go and look up, do your own looking on here. You can see this real clear when you get it on your screen real big. You can't be looking at this stuff on no cell phone now. I don't know what that's about. They take them cell phones to throw them in down the toilet. Cell phones ain't worth a damn. Smartphone. If it says smart on it, run the other way. Okay? See, this is screwed up. They screwed up vanilla sky in this sucker. Look at that right there. This is screwed up, man. They did not do a good job of this thing. Look how they chopped this thing up. See, there's what the original sky was like. And see how bad of a job they did? This is all, that's leftover sky from, this is the original picture, and this is the vanilla sky. Leftover. It's like they got it in the middle. And then over here you can see they did a bad job of vanilla sky in it. Right there they broke it off. Okay. And here's some real telling shit. Look at this. See, they got the top of the roof here. They cut off the pole. Okay, look at that pole. Follow that pole up. Okay. They cut the pole off. That pole went on up. Okay. And you get around. It's kind of hard to tell around the trees, but it's there. They vanilla skied around the trees. Okay, going over here. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell there, but you can see it right here pretty good where they didn't do a good job where they're cutting off. And then look at this. To me, I think that right there goes higher. Matter of fact, I think this here might go higher. And then look right here. Totally screwed this up. And then look at the brickwork here. It's like, okay, now let me hold on. Let me come back to that. And down here, look at this. There's lines going up that disappeared or gone. Okay. Now, look, you got a phone pole here. Follow it. It's that phone pole right there. Where'd the phone pole go? Took the whole phone pole out. Okay, but see, this is interesting now. I think they cut out part of a building right here. And I'd like to see a picture of this area, this building later. Because I got a feeling that sucker goes on up. And they were trying to recreate the narrative here. That is not the top of a building. It doesn't look right. Let me see if I can see. Here's the top of a flat building there. That don't look right. And I could get away with that if it wasn't for that. I could say, oh well, they just didn't cut this line too straight. I could go with that, but it's over here that's odd. This looks like this goes on up, you know, and then look right here. See how this is the sky? Look right here. This piece. This didn't get vanilla skied. There was something dark there. Okay. So, you know, they were hiding something here. I don't know what. I mean, you know, I'd like to know how they get that raise up that big old column right there. That thing's probably 40 feet, 50 feet tall just to this point here. Not including this check here. Anyways, hope you had fun. Beags out.
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.